here's what I'm thinking when I'm starting to dance with someone and I want to tailor what I'm doing to the follow. So today we have Nadia here to help me. She's from Vancouver. This is her YouTube debut. She's very excited. Maybe a little nervous. We'll see.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, so when I start to dance with someone, we're probably going to have like an introduction to the song or just like a slow start to the song. So I'll usually start dancing either the basic on the spot, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and right away I'm going to get a sense of 1, 2, 3, how my partner's moving, how she shifts her weight, how she holds her frame. Is she moving by herself or is she kind of following me? And then I'll probably go into a front-back basic. And you also get a sense of like the arm tension. Is she squeezing my hands? Is she relaxed? So right away, there's a lot of information that's transmitted. And you'll also get a sense of how comfortable is she with dancing? Does she look nervous? You know, is there tension in her arms? So like, what is her overall vibe or energy? So when I start dancing a basic, right away I can feel her weight shifts. I can feel how comfortable she is with her body movement or how uncomfortable she is. And then from there, I'll move on. So let's just say we start. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I go front and back. And as I'm doing the basic, I say, does she have tension in her arms? Okay, maybe a little bit. Are her hands slipping off? Do we have a connection? Or do I feel comfortable with how that is? And then I'll go into something like a crossbody lead. And immediately, you're going to know if this follow is comfortable doing a crossbody lead or if maybe they've danced a different style of salsa before. So maybe they're more used to casino, and she's danced casino, so we could do the guapaya basic. And so if I try and do a crossbody lead, and she does something weird with her feet, and maybe just like walk sideways or something, or behind herself, I'm trying to force her to do it right now, that's very clear that, okay, maybe she's not a crossbody style dancer. So especially like we're in Medellin right now, and there's a lot of people in South America that will just dance like this. And so they've probably never done a crossbody lead if they've never taken a class that teaches the crossbody lead. So you might just have to adjust your dancing and then do turns like this, a more circular style dance. And these are moves that you'll see in Colombian style salsa or in casino, which is Cuban. And then you go back to a basic, something like that. And that might be all you're able to do. Okay, so if the crossbody lead isn't working out, don't force it. Okay. Now, when I'm evaluating these different things about my partner, and again, social dancing is to have fun, but as a lead, your job is to adapt to your partner. So it's not like I'm just like checking boxes and seeing like, oh, how good is she? How cool is she? It's like, she's a human being. She has worth on her own, but I'm trying to figure out how I can adapt to her. So when I'm talking about things like tension in the arms and how she's stepping with her feet, that's just gonna give me an idea of where her level's at and where maybe I need to adjust to. So let's assume that I have a higher level than Nadia, and then Nadia is somewhere in here. How do I need to adjust to kind of come down to her level because she has a comfort zone? And if I'm too far out of that comfort zone, she's gonna be uncomfortable and not have very much fun, and we're probably not gonna be successful with our interactions. So if Nadia has only ever done one spin in her life, and I try and give her 3, she's probably gonna fall over, she's probably not gonna have a good experience, and she probably won't wanna dance with me again. So that's what we're trying to avoid. So next, after I've done a basic step and a crossbody lead, I like to do something that's very similar. It's a crossbody lead variation that you can call a New York walk. And all it is instead of the follow pivoting to the left at the end of the crossbody, they pivot to the right. And there's a lot of follows, especially beginners, that are gonna get confused during this step. So I'm just gonna do it with Nadia and see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So as you saw, Nadia did not rush. My hand was up, but she didn't run through and try and get through ahead of time. What she did was she waited, 1, 2, 3, and then she just walked under. And because her arm is attached to mine, she naturally had to turn to the right. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So she naturally turned to the right. What will happen with some follows is they're either rush, which tells me they get nervous and they don't have a good sense of timing, or they'll actually try and turn to the left. So try and turn to the left as you go under. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, exactly. So I had my arm over her head, but she kind of ignored it and didn't follow her frame she guessed and went somewhere else. So this tells me something about her level. Now let's do a right turn, a basic right turn, and get a sense of how does your partner balance during the turn. So let's go a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So to me, it's clear that Nadia has her balance. She's not falling over, and she's not pulling down on my arm. Pull down on my arm. I'm not feeling the tension in my arm, and it's not like I'm a monkey bar and she's hanging on it. A lot of follows will do that if they don't have good balance. What I'm also feeling is how light are her arms. Is she putting the whole weight of her arms or her hands on me and just kind of pulling down? Like, you can't really see it, but she's pulling down, and I'm gonna have to use my muscles to hold my hands there. That's very uncomfortable. And I'm also feeling is, can I rotate my fingers inside of her palm, or is she squeezing me? Is she squeezing my fingers? Squeeze them hard. And then I can't rotate, and I'm stuck. So that's very uncomfortable as a lead. So follows, make sure you just have a nice little cup, and your goal is to connect with the lead's hand, but allow rotation, okay? And don't squeeze. So as I do the right turn, I'm feeling all of these things, and I'm feeling if she's pulling down, I'm feeling if I have a nice smooth hand connection, and I also see if she has balance, yeah? So the next thing that I'll try, for example, is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I'll see if I can do a right turn and see if our hand connection as well, if she allows me to rotate inside that palm, or if there's awkward things going on with the hands. So if I can lead her nicely for a right turn, lead myself nicely for a right turn, and there's no awkward hand connection, that gives me a signal, okay, she knows how to control her hands, and so therefore, whatever sort of hand connection change I want to do, I'll be able to do it with this partner. Now, if the right turn goes well, she has some balance, she's not falling over. Actually, the other thing I want to mention with the right turn is sometimes follows rush. So similar to that New York walk, if I start to give Nadia a right turn, just rush through it. Here we go, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So you're giving them time to do it, you're not over leading them, but they're deciding on their own to go really quickly. So that's gonna give me, again, another signal that, oh, she's not very comfortable with timing, or she doesn't quite understand it, and I might need to guide her more clearly, or basically understand that if I give her freedom, she might rush through, yeah? So if I'm giving her freedom to watch her timing, she might not quite understand what to do with it. Okay, so once we've tried the right turn, the next thing, the next natural progression would be like an inside turn. So it'd be like a cross-body lead with the left turn as she's traveling. And again, all I'm measuring here is combining the skill of the cross-body with, in this case, it would be a left turn. And you'll probably find the follow is gonna feel very similar between a left turn and a right turn. So I'm just gonna do a cross-body with an inside turn. So here I go, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, inside turn. And so when I do the inside turn, I'm feeling again how she moves with her weight in the cross body and how light her arm is, and is she staying on a line, or is she kind of like zigzagging and going off this way when really her line should be like this. And this just gives me a sense of, again, how good is her balance. So if her balance isn't very good, I'm not going to keep stepping up the challenge. I'm going to try and bring it down to where she is. So one more time. Again, you also get a sense of, is she doing it? Is she able to do it on her own, or do I need to do it for her? So for example, Nadia is pretty comfortable with the inside turn. I've never done this, what I'm about to do with her before, but I'm going to try it and see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So I let go, and she was actually able to keep going because I initiated the turn and she was able to finish it. So that tells me that she's quite comfortable with being able to do it. One more thing I wanted to mention with the inside turn is when you're collecting your partner, if you put your hand on their back, do they put their arm in place to get back into the closed position? This is another very good test. 5, 6, 7. When I go like this, does she reset her arm here? There's a lot of follows that won't do that, and if a follow doesn't do that, so don't do it, you're gonna see you're gonna get tied up, so just keep your arm low, and then all of a sudden we're in this weird connection that doesn't feel very connected, and I can't control my partner very well. So again, that's going to tell you something about her level, and it's also going to show you that you're going to have an upper limit. You're not going to be able to do things like 360s, which actually we're not going to get into later, but this is what a 360 looks like. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. Because we have that connection, we can do the 360. Without that, we have to, again, adjust to our partner's level and just avoid the things that she's not ready for yet. So as a lead, there's certain things that you can do with your partner even though they're not that comfortable. For example, let's say a right turn. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Because I'm using my left hand to her right hand, some follows are going to do this. They're going to allow their arm to go behind them and they don't follow their frame. So just stay facing the camera. And they're just going to kind of break off their arm, and then they kind of do a very awkward right turn. So if that's where my partner's level at, it doesn't mean that she can't do the right turn, but I might guide her using my hand on the other shoulder. Yeah? So there's certain things you'll be able to do and adjust for, but then there's certain things that you're going to be limited on. So for example, if I put my hand on her back as she's finishing the inside turn, and she does reset the arm, then I know, okay, I can try a 360. If she doesn't do that, the 360 is not happening. Another great test is, does she know what neutral territory is? Up and down. Up and down does not mean a turn. If I go like this clearly means a turn. So if I go to do a hairbrush, but then all of a sudden, if I just lift my hand and then she does a turn, that's telling me, again, something about her level and her understanding about following. So some followers are taught, as soon as the lead lifts the hand, they're automatically doing a turn. But I could do this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I don't have to do a turn. So the difference is I'm going out and around her body for a turn, or I'm just going up and down for a hairbrush. So again, that's another good test to just see what your follower understands and what they're not ready for or comfortable with yet. And this would be probably the last test for like the beginner-ish level. This would be just like a cross-body open. So when we do the cross-body open, we're moving together and we're moving apart. So are we able to create this nice elastic connection with our partner, or is it awkward? Does it feel disconnected? Is the frame collapsing? Or maybe are they losing the grip with the fingers? So we're going to do a poor example of a cross-body open. And when we do that, I'm going to try and have good posture, but Nadia is going to kind of release her scapulas and let her arm go forward. And because of that, she's going to kind of fall forward as opposed to being responsive. So this is what a non-good version would look like. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I pull, and as I pull, because she's not having good posture and having her scapulas, I want to say retracted, but using more her lats, she's not able to respond. Or her response is that she falls forward. And that's not what you want. Ideally, she's going to have good posture. So if I pull on her hand, she's just going to move forward instead of falling forward with her body. Because if she falls forward with her body, that means it's going to take her a long time to get the rest of her body to catch up. And that's going to be too slow for salsa. Okay, so actually, let's do this again here. So she's going to have good posture this time. And because she has good posture, we're going to create this nice open connection. And she's going to respond by moving forward with her pelvis, not with the upper part of her body. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Let's do that again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. So that feels much better. And again, there's going to be different levels. As a follower gets more and more experience, if they have better weight shifts, they have better body movement, everything's going to start to feel smoother and more connected. And again, you're just going to have to adjust bit by bit to your partner. The other thing is the finger connection. Actually, this is something I was working with Nadia the other day when we were hanging out. For Nadia specifically, she's working on making sure that she's following from her back. So again, if I pull her arms, she's not falling forward like this. So fall forward. Yeah, so she's not doing that. So she's trying to follow with her back. And when she feels a pull, she's going to respond with her pelvis. So this is how she wants to respond. She wants to move forward when she feels that, yeah? But she was saying, oh, I have a hard time keeping the tension in my back to respond, and then also in my fingers. So she's saying, if I try and relax my arms and have nice relaxed arms, which is what you want, my fingers just get really relaxed too. And so sometimes our hands were disconnecting. So when you do the cross-body lead, you want to see, or the cross-body open, you want to see that you have this finger connection. So follows, when you are doing something elastic, you want to keep your arms really nice and relaxed, but you do need tension just in your fingertips so that we don't lose that. So we're going to try and do the finger connection now. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, good. Now we'll do it again, and she's going to lose the finger connection. We're going to kind of over-exaggerate it, do a nice big one, and this is what happens when you don't have a good finger connection and your fingers are too relaxed. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. You're just going to completely let go, or you're going to start to feel it slip, and you won't be able to totally create that nice elastic connection that you're looking for. Now we're getting into more of an intermediate level, and there's 2 more things that I would look for. So most of these tests you can get done in the first 1 minute of a song. It's not going to take very long. And as you get better, you're going to probably feel in the first 10 seconds and get a sense of your partner the more experience you get. So this next, we can call it a test if you will, is I'm going to do a back spot turn, because a back spot turn uses counterbalance, right? There's centrifugal force when both of us are sharing an axis in the middle and we're moving around it, you know, like a merry-go-round or that thing in the park that goes really fast and you push it and your friends are trying not to fly off and they're holding on to the middle. So same thing. So as we go around this center, if we're leaning in, it doesn't feel very good, but if we lean back and give tension, it's going to start to feel better. So we're going to try and take that idea that is hard to execute when you're very far away from your partner. And what we're going to do is we're going to be in a closed position. So she's going to try and have really good posture. And as we do that, we're going to go around in a circle. And if our chests face each other, and she has good posture and I have good posture, we can kind of lean back into each other and create this nice spin, taking advantage of the centrifugal force. So I'm going to do an open break and then try and do a back spot turn and see how my partner feels when we do it. Does she collapse her frame and her footwork is not, or she does the wrong footwork, or does she stand tall, have good posture, and lay back into the turn? So let's try. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, one more time. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. And Nadia's kind of leaning back into it. We were working on this the other day. So we're going to do it one more time, and she's going to collapse. And as a lead, you're either going to feel a nice relaxed feeling that you're both holding each other up, or one person relaxes and the other one doesn't, you're going to kind of fall over. So if one person is collapsing their frame, you're not going to feel like you can lean back, and you're also going to have to kind of collapse just to compensate. And you're not really going to feel like you're helping each other spin. You're going to kind of just feel like you're just walking around in a circle, as opposed to having your arms out and having this nice sensation of centrifugal force, yeah? So let's try one more time, and we're going to collapse our frames. 1, 2, 3, forward with your frame. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So you can do it, but it doesn't feel nice. The thing that makes the back spot turn feel really good is that ability to kind of lay back or lean back a little bit into each other and have that centrifugal force play with that. So how would I adjust if she's not able to lay back and do the back spot turn? With a lot of partners, I'll still do the back spot turn, once in a while, even if their posture's not great. But I'll limit the amount of times I do it because it doesn't feel cool. It doesn't feel fun. But you can still do it. Lastly, we have the Copa. And the Copa is probably one of the most confusing kind of intermediate moves, because if you haven't learned how to do it, it's not very intuitive. You might have all the other stuff down, but the Copa is kind of like a different thing. So when you're doing the Copa, the most common one, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, has this stop, 1, 2, 3, and typically just like one hand with a hand on the hip. So you've stopped your partner, and most people are just going to do an inside turn, 5, 6, 7. So some girls might be able to do that, or some follows might be able to do that, even if they're not used to it, depending on how good you are at blocking them. So 1, 2, block on 3, so there's no chance that she can keep going, and you might give a little extra push, 5, 6, 7 to someone who's not comfortable with the Copa. And you'll know right away, because someone who is comfortable with the Copa, 1, 2, 3, as soon as their arm is there and they've transferred their weight, you can feel it's really light. You don't have to pull hard because they're not trying to go that way. They're just in control of their weight and their arm is relaxed and your arm is relaxed. Now, if that goes well, you can try the Copa where you go 1, 2, 3, and then you start bouncing each other back and forth with the hands. And this is only going to work if Nadia or your follow understands how to keep this frame and how to react to your bounces or your weight shifts. Yeah? So Nadia is going to collapse her frame this time, which is what a lot of follows will do, and they'll just have like noodle arms. 1, 2, 3, and you try and push, and nothing happens. It just goes in and out. So there's another, I guess, data point for you that, okay, I can't do those sorts of copas, or maybe even if I try and do something like this, 1, 2, 3, and I try and stop her here, she might not be used to it, and she's just going to have a noodle arm and just go like this. So it's going to give you an idea of, okay, maybe we can get away with the simplest version of the Copa, block and send her away, but maybe we can't even do that. So there you go with the Copa. The follow actually does need to know and have some previous knowledge of how to maintain their frame and how to respond to it. It's not a very intuitive thing to know as a beginner. So those are a bunch of tests that you can use to kind of get a sense of how your partner moves at the beginning of a song. How are they shifting their weight? How do their arms feel? They want to be as light as possible. And follows, if your posture is forward or hunched, your arms are going to feel heavy. So you want to be nice and tall, and you want to feel like you're moving your arms from your lat muscles. Your lat muscles are like those wings, and if you've never felt your lat muscles before, the easiest way to do that, I think I'm still on the camera here, is just push down on a counter with good posture, and you're going to feel them turn on. And if you can't push down on a counter, you can push down on your partner's shoulders and feel something activate in here. And you can ask your partner to just put their hands on their lats and tell you if they're turning on. Yeah? So that's how you want to lift your arms. And then again, you're going to get a sense of your partner's body movement. You're going to get a sense of, hey, can I rotate my hands within my partner's palm, or are they squeezing me? If I try and do a turn for myself, is my partner yanking on me, yanking on my arm and making it hard? And so there you go. It happens bit by bit. And as you get more practice doing it, you're going to quickly adjust where your partner's at and have more fun and we'll call them magical dances, more Disney dances, just because you're finding that that comfort zone of your partner, playing within it mostly, and if you want to challenge your partner, you're just going a little bit past the edge, not too far. And that's how you have fun. Thanks for the help, Nadia. Appreciate it.